Hey everyone, and welcome to this yoga session. My name is Alex and I'm a back care specialized yoga teacher. I've had some requests to create a back strengthening session, so here it is. I just would like to mention first that it's important to balance out a practice as well as the body itself. So creating equal or a balanced strength and also openness in the muscles. And also balancing strength with stretching. So we're not just concentrating or focusing on one of these two. Now, this balance is a little bit different for each one of us, depending on where we are at this moment, at what our starting point is. To balance this practice or these sessions out a little bit more, I'll be introducing or including a little bit of core strength as well. So we're not just tightening up and strengthening the back here, but also focusing on the front. It'll be quite a short session and we'll get right into it as we will start in child's pose to ground ourselves. So on your knees, distance them a little. Connect your big toes. Relax the forehead to the ground. You can relax the arms to start with. So the elbows are on the mat. Let your whole body drop down. Melting every bone, every muscle towards the earth. And let your breath be completely natural. And breathe through your nose. How are you feeling right now? Both on a physical level and emotional level. And try to avoid the words like good or bad. You don't really have to use any words. You can just stay with the feelings. Or be a bit more specific. What is it that you're feeling? And where in the body is it located? Now become a bit more aware of your breath. Notice as it fills up the belly towards the thighs. And then become more aware of the sensation of the mat underneath your hands. Underneath your forehead. And with the next inhale, you can start to reach your arms forward. So now your elbows will lift. Press your mats. Oh, sorry, press your hands down towards the mat. Next inhale, round your spine a little as you come up into a tabletop position. Try to align your wrists with your elbows and your knees with your thighs. And then as you inhale, open up for a cat. So look forward, open the chest, draw your shoulders back, and exhale, push the mat away. Chin towards the chest. And a few more times like this. Follow your own breath. See how slow you can go. And start to activate that ujjayi breath. That slightly restricted breath in your throat. That makes the sound of the waves or the wind. Now, one last time. Next time you inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Keep your shoulders engaged. Draw your navel in, and then see if you can lengthen the left leg back. So flex the foot and turn the toes down, trying to level the hips. Keep engaging your core, drawing the navel in, and reach the right arm forward. Now be aware of the arm that's on the ground as well. So you don't want to push the elbow forward, but bending it slightly and turning it towards the legs. Next exhale, we're going to connect the knee to the elbow, rounding the spine, pushing the mat away again. And inhale, finding that length, Chakravakasana. 2 more times. Exhale, knee to elbow, and inhale, lengthen. Last time. Lengthen. And exhale, place the knee and the hand down again. Inhale, open up for the cat. And exhale, bend the elbows back. Maybe place the chest and the chin down. Keep the arms engaged. And then inhale, slide forward. Come into a cobra, so press the top of the feet down to the mat. Keep breathing. And exhale, forehead down to the mat. Ground the hands. Exhale, push yourself back into a first downward facing dog. Bend the legs. And maybe walk the dog this very first time. So notice also how you're feeling behind your legs. If there's a lot of tightness there, and you have some back sensibility, it could be due to tight legs. So strengthening the back is a good thing, but it's not always the answer to what we are looking for. Come back to center. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, release the knees down. Come back to a tabletop. Find your alignment again. Engage the pose and inhale back the right leg. Flex the foot. Lower the hip. And see if you can lengthen the left arm forward. Exhaling, we're gonna connect knee to elbow, rounding the back equally on both sides. And inhale, finding that length again. 2 more times. Inhale to lengthen. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bend the elbows back. Maybe placing the chest and the chin down or keeping it a little bit elevated. Inhale, slide yourself forward into a cobra. Exhale, forehead to the ground. Now lengthen both arms forward. Place the outer edge of your hands down, shoulder width apart. And walk your feet closer to each other. Next, inhale. You want to lift the right leg and the left arm up. Now keep looking down just slightly in front of you so that you're lengthening the back of the neck as well. And think more about reaching forward and back rather than lifting too much. Keep breathing. And the foot and the hand that's on the ground are pressing down. And exhale, release down. Forehead to the ground, rest for a moment. Inhale again, lifting the left leg and the right arm. Keep breathing and see if you can slide the shoulder blades down a little bit along the back. Exhale, release down. Now again, walk your feet together, maybe even connect the heels. And then next inhale, we're gonna lift both legs and both arms. So inhale, lift. If this is too much, you can always open your arms in a cactus shape. Maybe even placing the hands beside you, just trying to elevate them a little bit from the mat. One more breath. And then exhale, placing the forehead down. Now bring your hands beside your chest if you haven't already. Ground your hands. And then inhale up for upward facing dog. So only the top of the feet and the hands are on the ground. Draw your navel in, open the chest, broaden your collarbones. And then from here, exhale back into a downward facing dog. With your feet hip width apart, start to bend your legs as you walk the hands back, shifting the weight onto your feet. When you come all the way back, inhale, lengthen the spine, look forward for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward for Uttanasana. Really bend the legs enough to find connection between the low belly and the thighs. You can even hold onto your elbows here. And then start to release the hands. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana again. Exhale, hands all the way down to the mat. Bend the legs as you walk forward to a downward facing dog. Now come down to your knees. If you have long sleeves like me, you might want to fold them or take them up above the elbows. Then we're going to come down onto our forearms. Grab a hold of our triceps of our arms. Just to take the right measurement here. And then we're going to interlace the fingers, or if you prefer, just bring your palms together here in front of you, creating kind of a triangle with our arms. Tuck your toes, lift the knees and start to push yourself back and away from the mat. Maybe take a small step forward with your feet and keep your legs bent. If it becomes too heavy, you can always release the knees down, resting in child's pose, then come back up whenever you're ready. Keep pushing the mat away from you. Avoid touching the mat with your head. Now, if you want something more, you can lift your gaze and inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, back. Let's do two more times. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. And one more. Move back. One big inhale. And then exhale, releasing the knees. You can distance them a bit more than hip width apart and rest in child's pose. Maybe bring your arms into a cactus shape to better release your shoulders. From here, you can sit on top of your heels for a moment and bring the legs in front of you. Lengthen the left leg, keep the right leg bent, and the foot here is more or less in line with the left knee. place the left arm behind you and reach the right arm up. We're gonna enter wild thing. So as you inhale, lift the pelvis and turn to the outer left foot. Lift the right heel and really lift the pelvis and the chest up towards the ceiling. Reach the right arm back. Be strong in the left shoulder. Exhale, gently release down. Now shifting the shape with your legs. Right arm behind you, reach the left arm up and inhale, lift the pelvis, turn to the outer right foot. Come up onto the left toes and reach the left arm up behind you. And really try to turn up towards the ceiling. And exhale, come back down onto the mat. You can bend both legs, feet hip width apart and hands behind you. See if you can point the fingers forward, do that. Otherwise you can turn them a bit out. Be strong in your shoulders here as well. And inhale up the pelvis. Draw the mat back with your feet. Draw the navel in. And fire up your inner thighs. Now, as you exhale, we're going to lower the hips, but without touching the mat. So lengthen the legs. Keep pushing the mat away with your hands. Maybe draw the legs back a little. And release down. Bend the legs. Hands around your knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lean back. And see if you can lift the feet off of the mat to about face height. Reach the arms forward and really squeeze the thighs towards the belly. And if this is too much, if the spine is rounding, you can keep the hands behind you for a little bit more of support. Now just 2 more breaths here. Broaden your collarbones. And then we're gonna lay down from here. So inhale, lengthen the legs and lean back for a moment. And with an exhale, gently lay all the way down. Now we're gonna do one more pose, one more shape before we relax into Shavasana. So bend the legs, feet hip width apart. Arms along the body, walk the shoulder blades underneath you, palms facing down. And then you want to avoid turning the head in this position. As you inhale, lift the hips up. And then push the mat forward with your feet. So arching the upper back a bit more. And releasing some pressure from the low back. And you want to even press the hands down a little. One last breath. See if you can lift your hips a bit higher. And then exhale, roll down vertebra per vertebra. At the very end, bring your knees to your chest. Maybe rock a little bit side to side to massage the back. And then from here, lengthen your legs. Find a comfortable position here in Shavasana. If you prefer, you can keep your legs bent. Walk your feet out to the edges of the mat and relax the knees to center. And that way you find a little bit more length in the low back since it's been working. Turn the palms up and gently close your eyes. Let go of your breath. Stay present with the energies moving around in the body. Aware of the existence of your body. And if you haven't already, start to become more aware of your natural breath. Aware of that rising and falling sensation. And come back to your body. Notice where the body meets the mat. Become aware of any sounds in your environment. And perhaps even the temperature of the air, the smell of the air. You can start to move your fingers and your toes, gently waking up the body. And then we're going to turn onto the right side. Start to press yourself up into a seated position. And you want to keep your eyes closed or almost closed if you can. Connect your palms together in front of the heart. Anjali Mudra. For a moment, linger in this sensation. Perhaps feeling a little bit more centered, grounded, present. And if you want to set an intention, this could be a good moment. Delight in me honors delight in you. Namaste.